Okay, so time for game 3, and this time playing against Wizard. So this opening hand is a little bit weak. I'm not quite happy with this, doesn't quite seem fast enough, so I'll mulligan. That looks quite nice. So I'm hoping that this Wizard deck is probably going to be either a Siphon Wiz or like a Reg Wiz build. If it's Siphon Wiz, we probably want to wrap around on HQ. Make that on there and put a Sapper on R&D, and that means that now if they have Keyhole or Medium early, we have defense against it. Okay, making an entrance. That probably indicates some sort of Siphon Wizard. That's what I've seen that card played in before most of the time. And sure, just get some money, Dirty Laundry that. Or Trash for Dirty Laundry, well I'm not sure. Well, RFG for Dirty Laundry, well, I'm not sure if it'll make a difference. And then we're going to put the Sapper here and just start scoring in Oaktown. You'll have enough credits to res Icewall and Sapper if we need to. Yeah, so this agenda is amazing, in case you didn't know, just because the credits you get back from it let you continue to score. So, you know, you can protect it while scoring it because it floats your credit total higher rather than lower. I think we... it's 50-50, should probably pay 2 credits for that. Yeah, we can let them into R&D though. Yeah, so we're able to res these pieces of ice, and it doesn't really matter because we're, you know, playing, we're advancing this, and it will gain us credits rather than losing them. Okay, so we'll finish this off, staying healthy still. Been to Black Orchestra, so it's not ideal. These breakers are quite good because they can obviously go under a destroyer and then get the breaker out afterwards. Yep. But if we say put this one of these code gates on R&D, then after we get the Black Orchestra out, we can then Sapper it and hopefully remove it from the game. I think I'll put the Horton here if I'm going to do that. So, oh, now I have 2 Enigmas. They are cheaper, so I'll put an Enigma on R&D, and then go for the second Oaktown. They still don't have Paperclip in the bin, which is good for us, because obviously they can discard the Paperclip at the end of their turn, and then they'd be able to get in here. But as long as they don't have it in the bin already, we can go through. Okay, that trashed an Eater, we should probably remove that from the game. Yeah, so seeing we've got a Siphon now. If they do have a Paperclip, then we can get Siphon next turn, which is unfortunate. The alternative would be putting a Code Gate breaker there. Putting Code Gate there still doesn't really help because of that Black Orchestra, so let's just get this finished. And if they Siphon us, they Siphon us. And we can remove it from the game when that happens. Yep, so retrieval run. Okay, yep. And yep, so removing that from the game. And let them in, nothing to steal in our hand, so that's fine. We've pretty efficiently cleared this out. Okay. Draw Project Atlas. I think I just want to... if we put it in the server, take a credit in advance, then we can potentially score it with a counter on fairly soon. They have Same Old Knifed for this, which I'm worried about. Maybe we just put it in the server and take 2 credits. So now we have enough to res the Sapper. Okay, that's going to take all our stuff, but we can then score with Atlas, so might as well remove it. Okay, that's slightly awkward. But we're just gonna score 2 points. They'll probably run HQ, I'm assuming. well, yeah, so we get 2 points, but that's not so bad. There's nothing in archives for them to take. And we're still in a situation where if we draw an agenda, we can put it into this server and have it be relatively protected if we take a credit. So, kills Marcus Batty and goes in again. Hostile, that's annoying. Okay, well, we draw a Marcus Batty. I'm going to install him and then take 2 credits. So we're getting the same old knifed here, and we can immediately get them. So let's check. Yep, no MK Ultra. So remove that. I do get to hit R&D a bit more because of this, but I'm happy because we kept our scoring remote alive, which is more important, I think, than preventing them from getting a couple of single accesses. Just going to gain money. Then next time we can try and draw an agenda to put into server 1. Okay, or they could do this. So yeah, we'll just trash for keyhole. Remove from the game, and you get 1 keyhole fire, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, I mean, puts them up to more credits, more points even. 6 on 6. Just gonna do it again. Now we have enough to rise the Enigma. So they either spend all their money on a Black Orchestra and then break, or they lose a click and have to bounce. Yep, okay, that's fine. And there's nothing in HQ for them to get. So yeah, if we draw an agenda, we'll put it into server 1, and if we don't, we're just going to take a bit more money, I think. Okay, that is the worst agenda for us to draw, but get there eventually. I suppose we could have taken 2 credits and then still be Enigma on HQ, but because they have Black Orchestra available, I'm not too happy with that plan. Oh. Okay, sure, so you just want to get that installed, I guess. Marcus Batty's now blank. Still need money to score. Put this on HQ. Their credits are low enough that this is actually still not great for them. Okay, I think we take a credit and double advance this, and then hopefully we just won't be able to get in, so yeah, basically we're just saying if they can somehow conjure up a paperclip, or, well, paperclip and an MK Ultra, then we're in, and if not, we win. I suppose a knockout siphon would also work for them. Yep. Get to kill this, but they don't care, they're just going for single accesses, so it's just all about what's on top of R&D. Something they can trash, and last access to see who wins the game, I guess. Yeah. So that was a pretty close one actually, very down to the wire, but we did get there. Wraparound definitely did its job here, stopping that Eater from being good. And yeah, we finished on a nice tidy 9 points. Okay, so that's been a fun set of games, and I'm going to have a quick talk about the deck and anything I want to change. Looking back, we played against those 2 criminal decks and the wizard deck. We won 2, lost 1. I think that's fine, especially seeing as our loss to the criminal was mostly based on that sort of very early R&D pressure when we left R&D open. It's just a risk that you have to accept, I think, when you're playing this deck. In terms of card choices for this deck, I'm still not completely happy with it, to tell the truth. It's definitely a work in progress. I like most of it. I think there are some fairly strong cards, but if I was going to choose some weak points, I think Autumn is maybe just a little bit too expensive for what it does. The anti-AI advancement clauses are just basically never going to be relevant, and 4 credits for a 4 strength gate with 2 subroutines doesn't sound like a bad deal, but one of the subroutines is largely irrelevant, and the face check value is definitely not as good as Enigma. So maybe that could be changed. Quandary is a fairly obvious choice. It could just, be a cheap gear check. You could play Mausolus in this deck. I don't really like that though. I think that this deck really needs just gear checks and program trashing, and Mausolus doesn't really do either of those apart from if you advance it 3 times, which, as I've said, don't really want to be doing to my code gates. So that's probably the ice I'm least happy with. The others all, I think, serve their purpose. Colossus, being a bit expensive, is awkward, but when it comes through, it really comes through. It's a good sentry. It, scares the runner off. It's still relevant even if they don't have a rig installed because of a tag subroutine. And, sometimes it's just a big piece of ice that sits in front of your server and makes them pay when they want to check what you're putting in it. Speaking of putting things in servers, Arms Factory, didn't see much of this card actually during those test games. I have played a few other games off camera with this, and it's come through in a big way there, so I want to say it's definitely still a good choice. 3 copies might be too many. Maybe there could be a cut here. It's possible this deck wants a 3rd Hunter Seeker, although I did think we were drawing it most of the time, so when we wanted it, and because it's dead, if a runner gets too far ahead of you, it can be a little bit awkward. So something to consider. Number on this and the number on this definitely could do with looking at. One thing I did notice during those games was that our economy felt a little bit awkward, and that does slightly relate to the fact that this Arms Factory is a credit investment that then slowly pays you back. It felt like that was sort of having a bit of tension with keeping us on the high floating credits for playing IPO. I don't know if there's a better option than this though. Assuming we do want to keep playing these Arms Factories, I mean the one that springs to mind immediately is we could just play Beanstalk Royalties, but the extra credits from this are pretty good, and I feel like the deck can stay afloat well enough that this turns on often, and when you draw it in your opening hand with a hedge fund, it's really quite strong. I do like this deck quite a lot still. I've always liked playing Wayland Rush decks, so this is like a really, fun option for me. There are other things you could do. You could try and sneak a Scorched Earth package into this, which then makes the Colossus subroutine even more relevant, although most people against Wayland are going to want to clear tags anyway. Even if you're not playing Scorched Earth, they'll probably have to wonder if you are. And then you would also have to find some influence for the sea source or alternative means of tagging. Wraparound I still like, so I do like spending this influence here, and I really think you want 3 Marcus Batties in a Rigshooter deck like this. Then you're looking at cutting Jackson Howard or Global Food, and I think they're just about relevant enough. We didn't really use Jackson Howard at all those games, so if you're going to make a cut, that might even be the first thing to look at. If you were going to do that, sea source probably correct. It actually gives you another option against Film Critic and Sacrificial Construct if a runner is trying to sneak past your Hunter Seekers, so that's a bit of fun. And another option if you wanted to get around some of the hate cards right now, like Sacrificial Construct, is Best Defense also works in this. Even with the minimal amount of tagging that we have in the deck at the moment, it does still have a live threat against a few of the nastier cards that you see. I'm still pretty happy with this deck. I'm not sure if it's the best Corp deck around at the moment. There are still a lot of ways that you can lose to basically anyone, but if you play it aggressively and know when to make the right call on putting agendas in your remote server, you should be able to at least do decently with this. That's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed watching these videos, and I will see you next week where I'm going to be playing an Apocalypse Max runner deck. So that should be fun. Gonna blow up some people's cards and hopefully siphon them a bunch. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.